Alright, hello, and welcome to another Wacky video. Remember the Wacky Racers? That group of wacky drivers, constantly battling each other and racing across the Americas. Well, have you ever sat down and thought which one of them was the wackiest of the Wacky Racers? Probably not, because you're a normal person. This is not a ranking on how much I like each character, it's based purely on how wacky they are. So firstly, I looked up the definition of wacky in the dictionary, which means absurdly or amusingly eccentric or irrational. There's definitely some irrational behaviour going on in these races. I'll not only be looking at the drivers, but also their wacky machines, to finally put the age-old question to bed: which wacky racer was the wackiest?
And away they go, on the way out, wacky racers. Unhand that girl, you monster!
Don't hurt the little old gorilla, Peter!
I'm a karate expert, you know!
We are starting off with Peter Perfect in the number 9 car, the Turbo Terrific. The gentleman racer. Often seen flirting with Penny, he needs to keep his eyes on the road, especially driving a formidable race car. Nothing really out of the ordinary in terms of his machinery, well, other than its length. Maybe Peter's overcompensating for something.
I'll have to shake some life into my car.
My, that was clever, y'all, Peter.
The Turbo Terrific also has a tendency to shatter into pieces. He's pretty much the straight man of the group. Other people might call him boring. When I say other people, I do mean myself, but nothing that would give off the illusion of wackiness in my books. So he has to go bottom of the list.
Oh, lay down rubber, Meekly. We're going like a house of fire.
Did you say fire, Sarge? Okay.
And the surplus special takes a turn for the worse as it goes into reverse.
Maneuvering into 10th position is the number 6, the Army Surplus Special, piloted by Sergeant Blast and Private Meekly. Firstly, their choice of vehicle is questionable. Tanks, not usually renowned for their speed. However, they do use its firepower to good use, including firing bubblegum bullets, water guns, and all manner of explosive shells, making them one of the biggest antagonists of the grid. It's a common misconception that Dick would be the only one to use dirty tactics. The other drivers are just as mischievous.
And Sarge shifts into landmine power. Fire on!
Sergeant Blast is the typical drill sergeant, bossy and shouty, while Private Meekly is the goofy new recruit that always messes up. It's a standard TV trope that's been done many times, so not overly wacky to see them repeat it here. Something which is quite wacky though, is just how bad they were at the Wacky Racers, with 3 wins, 1 second position, and no third places, which puts them bottom of the list, apart from Dick.
The bridge is blocked.
Yeah, we'll blast our way through. Fire!
Bye-bye. That is so soothing. A little more beauty, Maud, please. Oh, not that much, silly. Now I have to take a little old bubble bath. La, la, la.
A woman driver? Now that is wacky. I'm kidding, obviously. Please stick with me. But yes, the only female driver on the grid is Penelope Pitstop in the number 5, the Compact Pussycat. This southern gal often uses her looks and charm to get assistance from the other drivers, particularly Peter Perfect.
Why, Colonel, do I sound like a little old Yankee to you all?
No, ma'am, you sure don't.
Thank you, Colonel.
Ooh-wee!
Also, one of the few to wear a crash helmet, the others being Peter, Sawtooth in the Buzzwagon, and Blubber Bear from the Arkansas Chugabug. only a truly wacky person would enter a race without wearing the appropriate safety gear, although she does use her vibrator mid-race, which could be pretty dangerous. No, it's not what it sounds like. The Compact Pussycat is one of several cars to be laden with gadgets, some of them useless, but others give her an advantage in the little old wacky race.
Well, how nice! A beauty shop. Now, ain't I the little old lucky one? I'll just take a little old minute and get my little old hair shampooed.
The cops spotted us. Turn off at the next turn.
In 8th position, we have the Anthill Mob, driving the 7 car, the Bulletproof Bomb. With 7 members on the team, it's the biggest of the field. Sometimes they may be confused with the 7 Flying Credenzas, or even the 7 Dwarfs. This group of gangsters are on the run from the law. It's unknown just how many people they may have whacked, but it certainly increases their wackiness.
Okay, ring-a-ding. Give him the old rat-a-tat. Sure thing, boss.
Every police officer on the road is keen to lock them up. My favourite running gag is their ability to use getaway power, using the Fred Flintstone method of running along the ground to go faster. The Bulletproof Bomb is a standard mob-style car from the early 20th century America. Although, just like the Turbo Terrific, it's a lot more fragile than you would expect, with it often being sliced in half.
All right, Anthill Mob, pull over. It's the Highway Patrol. Let's get out of here, guys, fast. Howdy, cousin. How be you? And this must be Cousin Fudd. Howdy.
That ain't Cousin Fudd, Elmer. That's a bear.
Well, he sure looks like Cousin Fudd.
In 7th position, it's the Arkansas Chuggabug, driven by Luke and Blubber Bear, one of 3 teams to have an animal as a co-pilot, along with Muttley in the Mean Machine and Sawtooth in the Buzzwagon, unless you count the dragon within the Creepy Coupe. For some reason, I'd always tend to forget about the Arkansas Chuggabug. Maybe because it's the most simplistic looking machine, just some planks of wood and a boiler. It's crazy that this is even road legal, let alone taking part in a race.
But it doesn't look like the Arkansas Chuggabug is going to make it.
Blubber! You better chuck some stuff overboard and lighten the load! Good son, Blubber! Not me!
Luke is the most laid-back driver on the grid, barely taking any notice of what's going on, dreaming of pies and enjoying the ride. Meanwhile, Blubber is the exact opposite. Named because of his constant crying and blubbing, this scaredy bear is a big factor in the overall wackiness of the team.
I'll throw this old boiler into tiger power. Fasten your seatbelt. Hold on to your hat, Blubber. We got a tiger by the tail.
Can nothing stop you, Rufus Roughcut? Just my brakes. Yuck, 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 yuck. Well, yuck anyway. There he goes. Up, and away!
Buzzing into 6th position, we have the Buzzwagon, piloted by Rufus Roughcut and Sawtooth. The strongman of the racers, Rufus is a burly lumberjack, often using his strength to smash down trees, lift his car out the mud, and various other inhuman feats of strength.
I'll fly right over him. I'll cut him down with my left rear tire.
Not usually one of the stars of the race, they tend to go a little bit under the radar. Joining Rufus is his pet beaver, who would chomp his way through any bits of wood he sees. Not a common choice of pet, so bonus points for that. I always loved the design of the Buzzwagon, with saw blades of wheels, often cutting corners and cutting up the racetrack. It feels like something out of Robot Wars more than Wacky Racers. Again, completely impractical for racing, but therefore delightfully wacky.
And the winner will be number 10, driven by Yow!
Take a look and see who's shooting at us, Muttley.
Just my luck to have a chicken dog.
Sneaking into the top 5, which is a higher finish than they're used to, we have the main characters of the show, Dick Dastardly and Muttley in the Meme Machine. Famously, of course, they would never win a race, after spending the whole time trying to cheat and eliminate the other drivers from the race. Completely wacky because they clearly have a car capable of winning the race, as he would easily zoom into the lead, but rather than having a boring race like an F1, he would come up with completely crackpot ideas just to mess around the other drivers.
Get him, boy, Muttley! Let him have it! Yeah. And after giving him the worst years of my life...
Muttley, with his famous laugh, would often find humour in Dick's failings, and would also cause their team to lose multiple races. The Meme Machine is one of the more normal looking cars, although laden with all kinds of gadgets, mostly used for nefarious purposes. What makes Dick Dastardly wacky is despite the fact he never wins, he always comes back and keeps trying despite the fact that the judges clearly hate him.
Dick Dastardly takes the lead!
Nothing can stop me now!
And at the finish line, it's... Professor Pat Pending converts into an exact copy of the Slack Brothers and passes the real number 1.
That's us! Go, go, go!
In 4th position, we have the Slag Brothers in the number 1 car, the Bouldermobile. A couple of cavemen who are potentially related to Captain Caveman. With their long, luscious locks of hair, no idea if they can actually see where they're going on the road, as their hair completely covers their eyes. They are often seen bashing each other with their clubs. No wonder they've gone crazy with all that brain damage.
Okay, let's go. Dummy head, you make square wheel.
Driving that prehistoric car, it's a bumpy ride, as it's a hollowed out boulder with some wheels. Sometimes we'd see a pterodactyl help them fly across gaps. I mean, the fact that a team can just use an extinct creature, and it's just considered normal in this world, just shows you how wacky these races are. The pair don't speak too many words. Usually some incoherent noises are followed by 1 or 2 real words. Their main rivals appear to be the gruesome twosome, often getting into arguments with them. Otherwise, they are one of the more passive teams in the race.
Meanwhile, back on the right road, it's the Slack Brothers with a slight lead. But here comes the lovely Penelope Pitstop to challenge them. Oh, the old hay baler ain't what she used to be. Max will have to bail out.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Flying into the 3rd position, we have the Red Max in the number 4 car, or plane. Plane car? Not a plane looking car, a car that looks like a plane. What even are the rules for entering a vehicle into these races? Well, you can just enter a plane that can fly over the other cars. This loony driver, however, will often fly into low bridges, tunnels, or any number of obstacles.
I will give him a pepper shot and sneeze him out.
He'll use his propeller on his plane and his mounted machine gun to his advantage though, cutting through his competitors and blasting them into pieces. The concept of the plane car is a fascinating one though, as people believed it to be the way forward at one point. So maybe the Red Max is onto something here. It is an ingenious design, made by a complete crackpot driver. He is literally insane, which is why he's so high in the list of these wacky racers.
The great Red Max will bring down that big blimp.
Leading the pack is the Creepy Coop, using Dragon Jet power.
Let's cool it, my little friend.
In second position, we have the gruesome twosome in the creepy coupe, the only team that I've positioned to correlate with their car number. Although it would have been hard to put the Mean Machine in 00 position, unless I guess I disqualified them, which they are used to. The gruesomes are similar in appearance to the Addams Family, a real gothic look with their belfry full of creatures, such as dragons, spiders, alligators, and more.
The creepy coupe shifts into dragon power.
Hey, come back!
You forgot something.
The coupe is one of several vehicles to use a lever in order to use their special powers, which is usually one of their creepy companions. We see similar devices in the compact Pussycat, the converter car, and in the Mean Machine. One of the most powerful teams on the grid, they can even summon up some British weather. I'd be terrified to race alongside these guys, especially when you see how tall Big Gruesome actually is.
Watch out, Professor!
No problem. I'll just shift to steeplechase horsepower.
So there we go. In first position, the wackiest of the wacky racers is Professor Pat Pendon in the converter car. A mad scientist that can transform his car into literally anything, even if it doesn't make any logical sense, such as transforming into a pogo stick or a self-bouncing ball. There is no way these transformations in the real world would make him go faster. But using Wacky Racer's logic, using leg power or bouncing makes you go faster.
Professor, you don't stand a chance in that sand.
You've got it all wrong, Sonny. It's the sand that doesn't stand a chance. Against my vacuum cleaner powers.
Also, the fact that his vehicle can literally transform at a whim into virtually anything is such an insane, wacky concept that would only be possible in a cartoon world. The Professor himself is quite an anomaly. He's often willing to help the other drivers, but also can be devious as well, using his conversions to slow down the other cars. You just never know what he's going to do next, so in conclusion, he is the wackiest racer.
I'll just use my old do-it-yourself canyon crosser.
And now, all the racers roll across rapidly.
So there we go. That is my official wacky ranking of the wacky racers. Which ones were your favourites? Do you think I placed any of them in the wrong position? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this little nostalgic video. But for now, take care and leave me alone.
I did it again!